I've had this for a while. Hello, and welcome back to Marchman's Midlife Dolly Crisis. So today we're going to be unboxing a doll which is from a range, again, that is new to me. I've been aware of them for a while, but I've never gotten one. They seem kind of interesting. And I think I mentioned in a previous video when I was unboxing, I think the mystery doll. I did wonder if this was going to be what I was going to be unboxing with when it was a mystery doll, but it wasn't. It was another doll. But I did mention, as I was kind of interested in these dolls, they seemed sort of interesting to me. And that is a Cave Club doll, which is here. Coincidentally, this is also a Happy Mail that I received from Kim at Whimsy's World. So yeah, I'm going to be opening him. So this one is the boy. He's called Slate. So yeah, we're going to see what he's all about. I'm kind of interested because I think they're more aimed at younger children. So I'm presuming they're going to be a bit more sturdy, but they do still seem to have quite good articulation. So yeah, we're going to have a look at him and all of his bits and bobs. Hi, so I'm here with Slate, who is in a very shiny box, which you're probably not going to see very well. I thought we'd have a quick look at the packaging before anything else. So I think the packaging is pretty much all the same for these, in that they're in like a sort of a clear plastic front with a cardboard back with a bit of information about the dolls and some really cute artwork as well. Oh, a bit better if you could see it. There we go, some cute artwork as well. I do really like the colours they're using. I suppose these dolls, as I say, I think are probably aimed at a younger age range than sort of Barbies are. There doesn't seem to be an age thing on here. It does say warning small parts, but sometimes they will have the kind of the symbol which would indicate that you can't give it to any child under 3. But I'm not even seeing that on here. I'm possibly wrong. Maybe it's in the small print. Ah, here we go. Yeah, the idiot can't see it. Here we go. It is. So yeah, you can't give it to children under 3. Please do not give your child this if they are like a month old. I'm begging you. Anyway, it says here, meet the Cave Club, a fearless group of prehistoric first friends. And then it says the same thing in an abundance of different languages. So presumably the cartoon series, which is on YouTube, sort of follows their wacky adventures as they navigate themselves through some sort of weird prehistoric environment that they live in. Let's have a look at the doll and see what we think about him. So I don't know what it's going to be like once I open this. As I said, I've never had one before, so I don't know if there's Kimball tags and all that jazz. I don't actually think there is. I can see some tags, but I don't see any in the back of the head. I see them here, but we might have lucked out on this. Okay, so here he is. There's a bit of hair here. I'm not sure if that's his. So, he is here. He also comes with a comb, which is here, which I don't think we can actually just clip out, can we? You know what, let me get all the stuff out and then we'll have a proper look at him. Here he is. So this is Slate, as I mentioned before. So he does come with a pet. This is Taggy, which is a sort of a parrot thing, a parrot lizard. I don't know what this is. I'm sure it's prehistorically accurate, and you know it will probably be in the next sort of Jurassic Park film or whatever. It seems to look like a little lizard, a sort of fat little lizard with a sort of a plume on his head, or her head, or their head. It's got like a beak, it's got a tail, it's got sort of spikes down the back. I can't, oh, well, it's got wings. I can't really work that out. I would imagine, obviously these, as I mentioned, are aimed at younger children. So they probably really like the sort of the pet element, which is slightly different to the pets which come with the Barbie extras. Because at least these are kind of cartoony looking, whereas the Barbie extras are meant to look like, you know, proper people, and then they're stuck with sort of like a cartoon dog or a cartoon anaconda or a cartoon duckbill platypus or something. But yeah, so okay, this is Taggy. There's actually quite a lot of nice sort of little details on them. So yeah, that is the pet. We also have a brush here, and the brush actually has some nice details on it as well. It seems to have got a sort of a picture here of some dinosaurs, a kind of engraving, I suppose. It's kind of printed in it, not on it. Is that print? Not really printed. It's engraved. We'll say it's engraved on there. Handcrafted. Artisan. So yeah, it has got an image here of two dinosaurs. It's got a volcano. It's got plumes of smoke. Oh, it's got a pterodactyl as well, and it's got some sort of like gems sort of coming up. And then it's got the bits, the teeth of the comb here. I'm not really sure whether he needs a comb, to be honest. So here is the main attraction, who is the actual doll, Slate. So he was actually very easy to get out of the box. He basically had one of the sort of the stretchy Kimble tags around his waist, which I was just able to cut, and he just kind of came out. So his outfit is quite cheap, but the dolls themselves are quite reasonably priced, so you wouldn't expect a lot of sort of details. Saying that, I love the colours. You know, I really love sort of animal print. We have animal print, we have neon colours. You know, I'm totally here for this. He's wearing some shorts as well, and these are... Yeah, so the shorts are kind of push on and off. They have got sort of, I suppose it's kind of, it's elasticated at the waist. The top of the shorts are overlocked, or as the Americans call it, surged. You can tell I looked this up recently because I probably mentioned surging in a lot of videos now, only because I know that I have American viewers and they're going to wonder what the hell an overlocker is. So the waistband is surged and it is elasticated. The edges are not hemmed or anything like that, but they're meant to look sort of jaggedy and rough because it's sort of you know, prehistoric outfit, isn't it? The back of his kind of sort of tunicky thing is Velcroed, which I'm not going to take off. I'm going to leave that on there. And he's got like a necklace around his neck, which looks like sort of teeth or something. I don't know if you can see that. It's just here. It's sort of brown with sort of some painted detail on it. Speaking of painting, he appears to be some kind of artist because he has got sort of like a palette, a sort of painting palette here. And he's got a paintbrush, which he's holding. And he's also got with his accessories, this, which is a sort of a bum bag, or a fanny pack, as they call them in America. This, I think it's got something in it, maybe? It looks like it's meant to come off. I don't want to break it or anything, but this looks like it clips up. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, and maybe I shouldn't play with it because I'm worried I'm going to break it. But it looks like it should actually move. Ah, here we go. So yeah, he's got some paint equipment in there. It's just sort of like a sticker they put on. But there are brushes, well, it's basically all brushes with various bits of paint on them. So presumably he's some sort of like an artist. I don't know his backstory. They didn't really put one on the back of the box, which is kind of weird. But presumably this will go around his waist, or does he wear it like this, like all the cool kids now? Have you seen this? They're wearing the bum bags or the fanny packs kind of draped over their shoulders and are kind of around their body like that. To me, it will always be around the waist. But I'm old, what do I know? Actually, this is going to be way too big around his waist, I think. It's probably going to have to... It will just fall off him. It's going to have to go around his body. There is also a bit here where presumably you can put this brush in when he's not using it. That he can use, you know, he can just have it on his arm all the time. But yeah, you can kind of put that, you store that in there. At the moment, it's got like a rubber band around it to keep it in his hands. But look, I'm not going to attach that. I'm going to take that off for now, and we'll have a proper look at him. So he's got some really good articulation. He has no waist joint or anything like that, but that's fine because he does have his legs basically just go back and forth. There is actually a bit of give in them. So yeah, he can do that. The body shape of these dolls is a lot more sort of, I suppose, cartoony because, you know, it's aimed at younger children and there is actually a cartoon for it. So his feet are quite big. Now, I think they can actually stand up. Yes. Obviously, you can't really see that. But he can actually stand up by himself, which is great. He doesn't come with a stand or anything like that. So, yeah, so also he has knees that bend back. He has no articulation on the ankles. His feet are kind of oversized as well, so that's probably one of the reasons he can stand up properly. So he does have articulation in the arms. So the arms will go out and back and forth. Obviously both of them do the same thing. And he has articulation in the elbow. Let me take this off a second. Yeah, so the elbow will move and go up and down. And he also has articulation at the wrist. So he has articulation at the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, the kind of, what do you call that bit? The hip? The hip or thigh? I don't know. The upper thigh and the knee, none on the ankle. His head will just go back and forth. There's no kind of ball or tilt on there at all. But to be honest, that's pretty good. That's better than a fashionista. That is better than a fashionista. And to be honest, I think price-wise, they're probably very similar to the fashionistas. As I say, these are actually not expensive dolls. So, you know, if you had a child or whatever, you could actually buy one of these for them without thinking, oh, I've got to buy a Rainbow High doll, I'll have to mortgage the house. The face is really nice. There's obviously these sort of blotches of paint on here, which kind of match the colour in his hair. But obviously he's meant to be an artist because he has got his paint palette and his brush and everything. The hairstyles on these are quite sort of punky, which again, I kind of like because they're kind of brightly coloured and a bit quirky, I suppose, and, you know, a bit more interesting, I suppose. A bit similar to sort of Gem and the Holograms, really, who, you know, they all had sort of weird hair, which, again, I loved, as you can probably tell if you've ever seen me. So, the hair is kind of basically on the top of the head. It's all rooted there. The rooting looks pretty good. It's got like this sort of crimped effect here, and then it sort of is a little bit long at the back there, and then it's sort of painted here. It's not flocked or anything, which, you know, we've seen an awful lot of, but that's okay. I would imagine that if children are playing with the doll a lot, you know, you don't want flocking on there because I think it can come off quite easily, can't it, flocking? It's not like it's rooted, it's literally just sort of bits of hair stuck on. So I know you have to be quite careful with flocking, especially if you're washing the doll's hair. So it makes sense that they wouldn't include flocking on this. So all in all, I'm really impressed with this doll. I love the fact there's articulation there. I love the fact that he can stand up by himself. Obviously, you know, there is that cartoony element about them, But I don't really mind that so much. I have said in the past that I don't particularly like dolls which look like children or anything like that. I would much rather have an adult-looking doll. But that said, I'm kind of willing to contradict myself probably all the time. But I'm quite happy to contradict myself if I kind of like the look of the doll, and I do like the look of these dolls. What I didn't mention was he's got these kind of like leg warmer things. So they don't come with shoes because their feet are so big. And I presume that they think that people in, you know, I was going to say the Stone Age, but that's not right. Prehistoric folk, although there were no people in prehistoric times, were they? I can't remember. I don't think so. Only the Flintstones. So I presume they thought that, you know, people who lived back in those days, or probably didn't live back in those days, wouldn't have had shoes and their feet would have been big. So obviously they don't come with shoes. But they do have these kind of weird sort of leg warmer type things. These are moulded in plastic and they do have some painted detail on there. It's almost like sort of thonging, I suppose, to kind of keep it on. I think there's kind of like a tooth design on either side and some sort of weird sort of runic stone thing on the front, I think. I think it's actually the symbol of the hand. The hand with the swirly bit as the palm, which is possibly... No, I was going to say it's kind of the motif on the box, but I can't see that. I've just had a quick look on the box and it's not there. So, this is Slate. What are your thoughts on him? Do you have any of the Cave Club dolls? As I say, I've not had any before. This is the first one. I do really like him. I think he's a splash of colour, which I really like. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you're a huge fan. Let me know if you don't like them. Actually, I don't mind if you don't like them. It's fine. Please like the video if you've enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. And please join me again in the next video. Until then, take care and I will see you soon. Bye.